what it do, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. So yeah, that title might be a little effed up, but hey, this is the topic of today's video. DL guys in Montreal. Alright? We're gonna need water for this shit. Everybody on bet on the DL. Yeah. Now to all the women in Montreal, we have a DL epidemic in Montreal. Yo, I've been on Grindr. I saw some pictures. I'm like, man, feel sorry for your girlfriend. DL guys would do the gayest shit and have the nerve to tell you they're not gay. I'm not making that up. And I've also had a DL phase, you know, which I'm not proud of. You know, it's not the most healthiest phase of my life that I've had so far. Okay, but hey, it did happen. But I think like DL guys have their reputation of being mean and mistreating people. But hey, I was never that type of DL. I swear to God, I'm a romantic guy. I've always loved romance. I like a bottle of wine, chill, you know, somewhere peaceful. Yeah, we're just not going out together. That's the only restriction I had. You know, and I often get bothered by this because until now, like when I go on dates with people, people still ask me if I'm DL or not. I get frustrated sometimes because I'm like, yo, I'm outside with you. I make videos about it on YouTube. I make videos about it on Instagram. At the Olympia, Montreal, I came out in front of 1,000 people. What the fuck you mean if I'm DL or not? We outside together. I've been blessed, you know, to talk with many people that are part of the community. And, you know, my white friends that are part of the community have a different story 99% of the time than the non-white individuals. And it's actually, it's actually really insane. You know, but the reason why it is that way is because they had a safe space that we didn't have. They did face homophobia and judgments, but it never came, most of the time, it never came from the people that they loved, you know. And with the non-whites individual, it was the opposite, you know. They got rejected, they were judged, and that's definitely what creates the suppression of yourself, you know. And you know, I will never condone that behavior, you know. It's you know, because people get mistreated, there's physical assault, you know. I've heard many stories of DL guys that are quite fucked up, to be honest. Ain't no joke. But even though I don't condone, you know, I always say that it's easy to point fingers towards the person instead of looking outside the box, you know. What can we do to prevent these type of situations? The only thing that we can do is create atmospheres and environments so people can be themselves. It's really important to understand that, because if I do an introspection on myself, I didn't start to be myself until I did find people, communities, little events that I would go to where people were fully accepting of who I was. That's when I really started to be myself, and that's when I had the courage to, you know, make a step forward and come out to the people that I loved genuinely. You know, and that's why I said what I said in the first ever video I made on that channel with the Q&A video, when I talked about going to therapy. I went to therapy not because I wanted to go, but it was the only way for me to have that safe space with somebody that wouldn't judge me for saying things or for being the way that I am. And that safe space definitely helped me to, you know, get out of my comfort zone. And so I could, you know, finally be at peace with who I was as an individual. And it's really unfortunate to say, but therapy is so stigmatized in black communities that most black men don't even know that they have access to these type of things. They don't. That's why they don't go. And that's why, you know, I come forward to be like, hey man, if you need help, it's okay. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for therapy, to be honest. I wouldn't be here. So it's really important to seek for help when you need help. You know, and I think that going to therapy has given me the strength to be okay and at peace with rejection. It has given me the strength to finally step in within myself and be like, hey, if those people don't fuck with me anymore because that's what I am, it's okay. And even with family members, it went to that degree. And it's crazy to say, but when you're DL and you're suppressing yourself, you're just trying to please the idealization that people have of you as a black man. I think that it's a byproduct of the circumstances that we have within our society that creates those DL men that cannot be themselves. You know, I'm not saying that they don't have a part of responsibility within the equation. I'm just saying I think that's the truth, because I've been part of that. And I know that me not being able to be myself was based on how people perceived what I was actually as a bisexual person. In my case, I did realize, okay, that I was the homophobic one towards myself, because nobody gave a fuck. That's my reality. That's my truth. Somebody else have a different thing, but hey, that's me. So that was today's video. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like it was important for me. I wanted to share my thoughts, and make sure to comment if you want to comment and say what you think or like the video. You could share also. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.